Hey guys, George Floyd Parks After Dark. Hey, we are here at All-Star Music. So All-Star Music is on, obviously, all the All-Star resorts. All-Star Music is based on music, and we gotta go tour this. It is a beautiful resort we gotta go see. What's great about All-Star Music is it's part of a trio of resorts. There's All-Star Music, there's All-Star Sports, there's All-Star Movie, all behind the one gate. What's great about that is when you check into one, you have access to all three. It's a 3-for-1 deal, can't beat it. But we're gonna go in our red carpet, why? Because that's what we do. So let's go to the lobby. Let's check things out. Okay, first thing you're gonna see, obviously, is that really the stars are a big thing, but since this is music, what they've done is they've really pushed the music theme, and it's great. You have all the Disney Fab Five short kind of looking guys playing music. Donald's obviously playing his drums, looking like Donald doing it. Daisy jazzing it up. You got Minnie doing opera of all things. And of course we got Mickey being the conductor, who's just playing the maraca, and Goofy of course playing the banjo. Why? That's more of a Goofy instrument. So that's kind of the interior lobby, and it's just the one thing about each of these resorts is it's the same physical structure. It's the theming that changes, and when I tell you about the theming, it starts here with this wall. The theming is awesome. So they have in the lobby here, obviously, your entrance. They have Maestro Mickey's, which is their gift shop, which is one of the best gift shops for value resort, and by the way, these are all value resorts. So and then what they have is Intermission, which is their food court, and that's their quick service. And we'll go in and check that out in 1 second. And it's morning, so they're doing breakfast right now. And then as with all of these, they have an arcade. This one's called Notable Games. We'll take a look at that as well. So that's the lobby. Now let's go check out each individual section and get out there and check out each of the lands. It is an awesome. So back in the day, they had chicken fingers and fries. Now the menu items are top notch, and this is the value resort, and yet the menu is outstanding. And then here's really where you have the other hot items for breakfast. Now in here, they'd obviously at lunch you have much different items, and it would be the grill, and the pizzas would be here. So this is where you obviously pick your food. You check out there. Oh, get in. And then in here it goes back pretty far. So here's all the fixings and all that kind of cut through here. And then as you come back, what's great is they have these dividers like it's a restaurant. It's really cool. Musical instruments galore.
Really?
And it comes through the whole thing. So it's funny, this, different than other places, has a diner feel to it. Music continues to kind of get trend. All the stills have music. This feels like, I went from the Northeast, it feels like kind of a Jersey diner, which I really actually like and enjoy the concept of it. So here's Western Mickey singing the Western song. And so that is their quick service, and it is really very well done. Guys, take care. We're off to our next event. Yeah, George Floyd Parks After Dark. Hey, we are here at All-Star Music, and we're at Notable Games, which is their arcade. Now, each of the All-Star resorts has actually a pretty solid arcade. And I gotta tell you, for Value Resort, really impressed with the games they have. They have all your riding games. They actually have it organized real well. I hope you can hear me. Enough shooting games out here. Skee ball, which is an all-time favorite of mine. They do have the photo booths. So it's Disney photo booths with characters inserted. There's your Wicked Coon, and there's your shooting games, your basketball shooting games. It's really, honestly, given the size of the space, they've really done a nice job of really adding a lot of quality games. And how it's all laid out. The old time games, the newer games. In fact, it even got air hockey. Life is good when you have air hockey. And then a Florida Park After Dark favorite is Typhoon, which is a virtual immersive game. It's amazing. And the way it works is this. If you get a card, you see this in a lot of different places. You buy a card, load the card up, and then you play with your credit. So guys, this is the arcade. The arcade is outstanding. We're all starting. Got George Florida Parks After Dark. We are coming off the lobby at All Star Music, and we're at the main pool. But before we get to the main pool, this resort is deceivingly large, and I want to show you what I mean. So before we get out too far, this is the map. So we are way here at. Sorry, my finger here. Hold on, wait. We're way here at the bottom. Yes, it goes that far. So this is a big space. So here's the different kind of areas. They have the Calypso area, which we're right near. It has jazz, rock, 2 rocks, 2 countries, 2 Broadways, and another jazz and another Calypso. So it's big. And then if you look down here, what's great is, remember we talked about the 3 resorts. All-Star Music, All-Star Sports, All-Star Movies. This is a running trail that gives you a guide on how to go run all of them. Because again, you stay on one, you get to access all of them. So that's really the entire All-Star compound. The first time I've ever seen that, that's awesome. So this is the main pool up by the lobby. So we're gonna shoot in here real quick. They do have the oversized chest, which by the way is one of my kids' favorite things ever. So we're in the Calypso area. We're gonna walk around the side after we show you guys this pool area. This pool area is pretty freaking outstanding. Big space. And look who you got. You got the 3 amigos, buddy. And they're out there swimming right in the middle of the pool. Now the pool itself is a big pool. And what's funny is you will not know this, and I have to show you something. You see the blue lines in the bottom of the pool? I kind of go to them. If I were to jump in a helicopter or use a drone, and I were to go over top of this pool, what you realize is those blue lines are actually guitar strings, and this is a guitar-shaped pool. This being the bottom of the guitar, let me pull this out a little bit. This being the bottom of the guitar, you're going up to the middle section, which is the hole in the guitar, is where those guys are standing. And then towards the top is the neck of the guitar. Very cool. Seating here is really ample. Pool is big. It goes 3 feet, 4 feet, and then 3 feet. So 4 feet is the deepest section for little guys. Interesting though, it does not have a 0 entry. Does not have 0 entry. But as we walk up through here, you see this is the neck of the guitar, and here's the guitar string. And then here's the frets. Where you put your fingers, that's what they are. So that, and then up here is the very top of the guitar, which is the kiddie pool. So that's awesome. So listen, now we're here. Let's go see the Calypso section, right? So that's the main pool, guitar shaped, awesome. It's a great opportunity to show you guys. Here's a lobby. All lobbies have this enormous, oversized star. That is all star. So you walk under the star to come out, which is kind of cool. And now the Calypso. So the Calypso section, obviously being Calypso music, is colorful and light and lively and tropical. So you have this, which is kind of, it's more like a xylophone, tropical xylophone. That's what I say. The top of that, that's where the keys are. The pipes coming down is how they change the sound of the music as it comes down from striking the keys. And then you have your gigantic, earth-shatteringly large maracas. I mean, that's the biggest, that's 4 stories tall. That's a set of maracas. And then in it, they bring in the tropical side. So as you go underneath this, I'll show you. As you go underneath this, really kind of cool. And then they bring in this stuff, where they have the tropical birds, the musical notes, and the monkeys climbing, and the leaves that cover the main section. That is really how you access your room if you go to upper floors. And then here's a great view from the other side of what it looks like across the way. So both sides are obviously Calypso themed. And it's just, they do a nice job. So obviously, rooms are up there. They bring the entire thing. But the Calypso section has a great view of the pool. If I were to go up upper level, you'd be able to see the Guitar Hotel. Maybe before we leave, I'd try to do that, but we'll see. So behind the Calypso section is the Jazz section. Pretty sure y'all could guess that from the oversized medallion we're looking at right now. It's reminiscent of Mickey's hat they have at movies, but it's huge. It's this big. Oh! On Calypso, they also have these drums. At the end, now they hide the stairwells. They do such a nice job masking the mechanical nature of these rooms. So that is just a great outside feature. So down in Jazz section, straight back through Calypso, get into Jazz. They have the huge maracas in Calypso section, and Jazz, they have the huge trombone. Along the top, you have jazz players who ring the top part of the building. Again, musical notes through, but then they have the jazz black glasses. Because you know all jazz players, they wear the black glasses. So that's a trombone. This is a really almost scenic park walkway. I mean, this is magnolia trees on either side. I'm in the shade. Life just got so much better. Oh, they do have an oversized trumpet. Go along, so it goes saxophone, trumpet, trombone. And then they got that. So by the entrance to get in, they have that. It's called the Jazz Inn, All-Star Jazz Band, Disney's All-Star Jazz Band. It's a huge set of drums, 3 stories tall, 1 on each side, and in the middle here is a fountain, which is just really nice to have a fountain here. Let's get a real good view of this straight on. So there you go. So that's the Jazz Inn, and behind that is how you access the floors. And that is very typical of the Value Resorts. They use these oversized, iconic features to mask some of the actual ugliness of the building, which is just the stairwells and the elevators, which is not themed, not very Disney. It's very mechanical and stale. So I'm impressed. So as you kind of come through, we go back to the back part, there's a second pool. So we're going to take a peek at this pool. Now this pool is something special to offer as well. The first one was a guitar. Now, first things first. Along the ground they have the music notes, which is really very cool. What makes this pool different? It's a piano. So here's the keys of the piano. Never tried a little elevation. It's a grand piano. So you have the small part to your right. It goes out to the big part that you see in the grand pianos. And here's the keys. Interesting again, no zero entry. Just an observation. But look who we have watching us. Ariel doing her thing. Ariel, now, from those who know, Ariel, Little Mermaid 2 or 3, music becomes a huge part of Ariel's life. His music is banned by Triton, and Ariel brings it back. Is it Little Mermaid 2, I believe. Right now, my partners in crime are screaming at the TV because I got it wrong. So that's kind of really neat because of bringing that thing. Now, what they also have is in the back of the pool, they have a radio, an old-time radio with the volume and the controls, and it's more of a 89.3 station on the radio. Now, I would tell you, most of you guys watching this do not know what I'm talking about with the radio stations because you stream everything, but they used to be, and there still are radio stations. So, take a look at the baby grand piano and the other one they have, and we're going to cut through here along our music notes. And we're going to go into the next section. This is the rock and roll section. So, oh, hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
So the rock and roll section. So while they've masked the stairs, and each area masks the stairs differently, it's a boom box, it's a big speaker. Not a boom box, it's a big speaker. So that's the big speaker that covers it. Now that's again 3 stories tall. Now, again, tree-lined area, grass in the middle. I'm impressed. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, real quick. Anywhere else in the world, I would say this was a mistake. So there's tracks in the grass. Like some car driven through it, right? And there's a car there. Disney ceases to impress me that they do that. Now, along this, their oversized instruments are electric guitars. Along the railings, 45, which is a small record. For those who don't know, they used to play on record players. They're small 45 and they had the instruments. For those who don't know, 45 records used to have to put a little insert in the middle to play on regular record players. We had to have a 45 record player. You had to have both. I had both. Yes. So there's that side with their electric guitar. And then here's that car that made that track. Now the whole idea here is that's just a nice antique car. It's a real car. It's not plastic, it's a real car. Here, let me, listen. That's metal. So that's a real car that's through here, which is awesome. Their section, the block, their stairwell, their oversized thing, is a jukebox front. It's called Rockin', and that's a jukebox front. For obviously, and rock and roll piece. So they have both those. And then they have the black and white squares. And you would say, whoa, George, why are there black and white squares? Well, if you watch any of the movies, the old rock movies like Grease and all that, a lot of them happen in diners and they all hang out, and that was kind of the flooring. So that was it. So they do have a Mickey stuck in here, which we'll have to come take a peek at, which is right here on the ground. And that is in the middle of a record. Go Disney. So this is the rock and roll section. Now the rock and roll section is really done well. I gotta tell you, having been through this era, going up, I'm impressed. So now we've gone through those areas. So now we've gone through the 3 areas, and we're kind of moving on. We got at least 2 more to go through, guys. So what does that tell you about this place? It's got a good size, good amount of rooms. The theming is solid. The detail on the theming is really impressive. And we've been through Calypso, we've been through jazz, non-rock and roll, and now we're going to country. Now, I'll be honest with you. Till today, I didn't know there was a country section. Yes, I learned something every day, and we come on the property every day. So this is very unique. So what they have to cover their stairwell is a harmonica. Harmonica is obviously part of country music. So that's their larger than life item to cover the stairs. And that's the stairwell in there. Where there was a electric guitar for rock and roll, country music is just kind of a derivative of rock and roll, or actually the origins of rock and roll came out of country music, if you were really to bore you to death. But so what they have here, they have a big bass. There's a Texas tie just to your left. That's one of the ties that Texans would wear. There's a big bass, and then there's a banjo. Now remember from the lobby, Goofy played the banjo. So this is Goofy's instrument. That's Goofy. Now what do they have blocking it? Oh, real quick, what they have here in the middle is just awesome. Huge grassy section, huge tree in the middle of this park area. Now it isn't, there's picnic tables in there, there's shade. Really, they moved away from all the hardscaping. They just concrete on top of concrete on top of concrete. But I think you can see through the trees, they're oversized. They're oversized. It's cowboy boots. So that's what's blocking their stairs, a gigantic cowboy boots. That's just awesome. And then they have a picnic area. But listen, here's the cowboy boots. I want to show you the cowboy boots close to us. What's that, boys and girls? That's a not so hidden Mickey. About the size of a car. And then here's a much better, closer view of the Texas tie we talked about, the bass, and the banjo in the back part of this park section. And then really just get the scope real quick to show you how big we're talking about here. Pull it out. That, I'm literally 10 feet from it, and that's how big they are. They're awesome. So that's the theme for country. And you hear country music playing, they're playing country music in the country section. Great Adirondack chairs lining outside here, so you can just sit under these trees. These amazingly big trees. You would say, George, why make it such big about the trees? They have natural shade where they could have been filled in with something else. They could have ripped the trees out and made that space. Really speaks to Disney's attention to detail. I'll show you something else. Remember we saw from the pool that they had those radios with the things? This is the back of that building. And anybody who knows anything about music or electronics, that's actually very realistic. The black sections here are plugs to plug in other outlets. Now, that's what it represents. It's not really there. These silver things are where you plug in other components of the radio, like a CD player or a DVD. And then those things used to be where how you did the speakers before you had Bluetooth. These guys run a speaker wire to that, and they would unscrew and screw back in and hold the wire in place. It's in the back of the building. Why would you ever do this if you weren't Disney? Oh, real quick, just to continue to praise Disney, that black circle there, that's a Phillips head screw, which is on the back of all these machines. It's a non-functional screw, but it just drives home that this is not mechanical. It's probably a pool pump, but they put it inside this radio. Love it. Our last section. And if my partners in crime are here, they would tell you their favorite section is Broadway. The Broadway section, for those who don't know, those who are from maybe not from the United States, Broadway's out of New York, and it's where all the plays are, the big plays are done. Musicals and dramatic plays. And so here what they have, the top hat, the bow tie, and the rest of the tuxedo with the gloves and the cane. Get a better shot over here. So there's the cane, there's the gloves of the tux, and that's kind of what they have punctuated alongside here. Down the middle, they have white lines, which is why New York City, this is a road. To represent a road. And then you get towards the middle. Now they have, well, how do they block their entrances? Remember? Disney always puts a block on their entrances. How do they block these entrances? By having ticket booths to a Broadway show. Oh, real quick. The sign here is awesome. They have Broadway in Times Square. Has a street sign with a street light. And then here is true Broadway musical banners. Now these are happen to all be Disney. Well, we're in Disney. It says Aladdin and Lion King. They have Frozen in the back and Aida. Aida was one of the very first Disney musicals. And Newsies, which is one of my partners in crime's favorite. And then there's check-in. So, and that goes in to how to get to upper floors. So impressive. On this side, same thing. You have Beauty and the Beast, Frozen, Mary Poppins on the other side, Lion King, and Aladdin here. And in the ticket booth, there's curtain shut. At night, ticket curtain opens, and Goofy's in there collecting tickets. At night, during the day, it's closed because I guess the theater's not open. How cool is that? Now, you're wondering where am I going right now? Disney took it to the next level again, another park area. But this time what they're representing here is Central Park. Central Park is a very large park in the middle of New York City where Broadway is. This is Central Park, Disney's version. Central Park isn't this clean, but it's wonderful. They have the park benches, and they have the walking paths, and they have the greeneries, and they have the wrought iron with the stone pillars. It's done really, 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 really well. So this is Central Park. We'll loop back around. Now, what they did not do on this one is they left the stairwells exposed. And they stage door. And you would say, George, why would they leave the stairwells exposed on this one? In New York City, buildings have fire escapes that are metal stairs that go off the side of the building. At least they used to. Some older buildings still have it. And so they're still grabbing onto the New York theming of these stairwells on the outside, so they saw no reason to cover them because that's what New York has. So it was a really intentional, direct decision to leave them exposed, and they really kind of more industrialized them a little bit. You can tell it's not just stairs, they're dressed up a little bit, but that's what they're for. So I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed with the theming. I'm very impressed with how the detail I have here. It is very, very well done. So guys, we have gone through all the different different sections of All-Star Music. We've seen the two main pools, the guitar and the piano pool. We've got a chance to see a lot of things they've inserted to break the space up. I personally have been blown away by the amount of greenery and the reluctance to overdo the hardscaping, which is just concrete, asphalt, cement. It's easy to do and to overdo. So it's really very impressive that they took that time to make this much grass and natural shade. And in Florida, when it's 1,000,000 degrees out, you need shade. Because it is actually, it's up to October and it's still pretty warm out here. But this is just really well done. So, but this is a value resort. And when you book here, you have access to All-Star Sports, which has a very similar kind of idea of theming around sports, or All-Star Music. And All-Star Music is theming around music. I will tell you, each has different flavor. Each has different sections that we find to be our favorite. But this is a very impressive value resort. So you can get the rooms for here. We saw rooms for here as cheap, under $200, with some regularity. If you look around, if you are an annual pass holder, you get some real nice discounts. If you're a Florida resident, for my Florida friends, you get another discount, a different discount. But it's an economical way to have access to Disney, to get the Disney magic of the theming, and at the same time, you have early access to the parks. Get Disney transportation, the buses are right in the main area, and it is just well. So we're heading our way back up towards the lobby right now. So we're coming back through the jazz section. We've left Broadway, up through jazz, coming directly at the lobby. Another shady section. Back into the jazz, back into the Calypso section. We'll come back around this way. There's that big drum that covers their stairs and the Calypso. We'll come back up through here, show you guys. Now there is a playground back in there. And this is the path back up. Now we took the other side out, we're gonna take this side in. And this is just a fantastic view of the lobby area and the pool. And that building with a metal roof over there, which is kind of straight out now, that's the food courty area. Singer Spirits is the bar area where adults can get drinks. The pool side. And then we're back in the colorful Calypso section. We're back to the lobby. So listen, it's George Florida Parks After Dark. I appreciate you coming out for this walk. I have been rightly impressed with this property. And I hope you have enjoyed this. Do me a favor, like this video. Subscribe to the channel, doesn't cost you anything, it means everything to us. Check out channel membership if you're interested, and also we have a Patreon page that it is in our description. Just check it out. If it's something that interests you, you go right ahead and take care of it. But listen, you guys, thank you for joining us. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.